Racers Grand Prix is about to go off, and that is a meet that I have learned to pay attention to. But this year is something different because Kishane Thompson will be on the starting line. Anytime he runs, it is a major event. And I have to say that because it doesn't happen all that much. And this year, he's going to have legitimate competitors on that starting line. But I fully expect him to put all of them away. Just remember, Kishane Thompson is not just the Olympic silver medalist in the 100. He had the world leading time last year, going 9.77 seconds. This year, heading into the Racers Grand Prix, he was asked to speak about running the world lead. And although he didn't necessarily promise or guarantee that he would give us that, he alluded to the idea that he knows is certainly within the realm of possibility. People want to see fast times, and trust me, I want to see them too. But there's only a few athletes who are actually sprinting in the game right now who can give it to us. Kishane Thompson is one of those men, and with Jamaican trials just a few weeks away, and many track fans still focus on the World Championships above anything else. When Kishane Thompson runs, the question that I know I'm actually asking is, does he look like he is going to win a World Championship gold medal in the 100? That is it. That is the standard, because anything less than gold would be a failure. And I know that Jamaica wants to win gold again in the 100, and Kishane Thompson is not the only fast Jamaican that we have right now. But he is clearing away the favorite when winning gold is the priority. So let's have a very real conversation about the Racers Grand Prix, specifically in the men's 100 meter dash, because as far as I can tell, if you're picking who's going to win this one, the only real question that's actually out there is, are you taking Kishane Thompson or are you taking the field? Before I talk about anybody else who's on the starting line, I'm going to recap what Kishane Thompson's season has looked like up until this point. I'm talking about 2025 because I was paying attention every single step of the way. He first ran an outdoor 60 meter dash and went 6.48 seconds. That is incredibly fast, but even faster when you realize it was into a negative 2.1 headwind. Again, I'm saying this all off from memory because I scoured the internet to find feeds of that race to watch it live. When you fast forward from that, he later showed up indoors to run an indoor meet in Kazakhstan. He ran a 60 meter prelim and a 60 meter final, and he ran about 6.56 seconds to win that 60. We were told that Kishane Thompson was going to be at the World Indoor Meet, and he would compete for a gold medal to bring back to Jamaica. But that never actually happened, because as soon as we found out, not long after, we found out again, he wasn't going to be running. So from then until now, we had to wait to see him outdoors. We got to see him once in a Diamond League race in Shanghai. That was his 100 meter season opener. And that race, we went all the way down to the line, where he got away from the field early, but Akani Simbini, who has been looking like he really wants to get a medal this year, ran him down at the line. He was the world leader up until that moment in the 100. We did see Kishane Thompson once before that, but that wasn't in the Open 100. That was in the Miramar Invitational, where he ran a 4x1 relay. More or less by himself because there were only two teams on the track. Just saying. And when he got the stick, he wasn't really didn't really have a legitimate chance to get to first. So when I say he ran by himself, I mean, more or less that's what we actually saw. He did run one more 100. And that was in Jamaica. And in the last few weeks, that one came back as 10.0 seconds. 10.0 something, 10.03, 10.04. And it was actually slightly windy, but that's not really a big deal. That was almost like, as far as I can tell, a warm-up race. Which brings us now to the Racers Grand Prix, which is always a big deal as an event. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section, because I try to read them all. Last year at the Racers Grand Prix, Oblique Seville was there, and he's going to be there this year. And I bring that up now for a reason, because Oblique Seville won that race against Noah Lyles himself, and he ran 9.8 low to do it. So, if Oblique Seville's coming back in that form, because we most recently saw him run at Grand Slam track where he ran a slightly windy time in the 100. He ran in Atlanta, but he wasn't 100% of himself in that race, which is why we really don't know which version of Oblique Seville we're going to get at the Grand Prix. Because if he's able to run like himself, then Kishane Thompson is going to have to do something special if you want to put away that man. Because Oblique Seville knows how to show up when he's running on a Jamaican track. Moving off of that, the other challengers that you probably should notice, like the ones you need to pay attention to, start with Bayanda Walaza, who, although he's only 19 years old, he's running on the pro circuit. He went to Croatia and ran a Continental Tour race where he put away a field by a lot. He went 9.94 seconds into a slight minus headwind, and nobody else in that race broke 10.2 seconds. That is legitimate sprinting. Don't get me wrong. I fully expect that Kishane Thompson's going to beat him. But I'm just saying, you have to beat him. Because Bayanda Walaza has no plans on beating himself. He's going to come in and give you a legitimate race. And he's been now on the circuit, running internationally multiple times. So when we get to the Worlds, again, I don't think he's going to make the final in the 100, but he's going to be there in the semis in all likelihood. You're going to have to go fast if you really want to keep him off of the starting line. Which leads me to the last challenger, whom nobody really is checking for, but I'm going to tell you, you probably should pay attention, because Eloy Benitez is going to be there. He runs for Puerto Rico. He competed very well at World Indoor, but actually got hurt in the final, because he had a very legitimate shot to walk away with a medal. And since that time, he's run outdoors in the 100 and put down a new PR of 9.95 seconds, wind legal. Eloy Benitez is legit. Similar to Bayanda Walaza, I'm not necessarily saying that he's going to be in the 100-meter final, but he's the type of athlete who's starting to show us that if you want to keep him out of a final at the Worlds, you're going to have to show us 9.9 low and probably 9.8 something if you really want to do it. That is the field. I mean, yes, there's other people in there, but that's what Kishane Thompson is up against. But we know that his talent has been very clear. Like, if you're just going off of that Shanghai race, because I'm aware that I've been pretty hard on Kishane Thompson, because the standard isn't set, it's like the standard for him is very high, but you have to leave it high, because when we're talking about gold medals, the people who get gold medals almost always are the ones who can respond to a very high standard. It just is what it is. Sometimes we get surprised when someone comes out of nowhere, maybe like a Lamont Marcel Jacobs in 2021, when nobody really expected him to go like that in the Olympic final, and then he did. But generally speaking, we see you coming before the World Championship final. Kishane Thompson, we have now seen him coming from a while ago. When he ran the world leading time last year, the 9.7, that was a warning shot. It let everybody else in the world know that you can't beat him if you don't run 9.7 something wind legal. And for the most part, that's what held up. The only man who beat him when the Olympic final was over was the one man who figured out how to go 9.7 anything, because everybody else was unable to pull it off. Generally speaking, there does have to be a warning shot, because history can be revisionist. The top sprinters that we remember, like, we can try to revive the history, but normally they dominate through the circuit. Like, whenever we do see them, they're in the front of the race. Now, there's a lot of reasons why that happens. I'm not saying that, people never lose, but dominance does stand out. Kishane Thompson, this year, generally speaking, he's in the front of the race when the gun goes off. The only time he got ran down was by a man who was in that Olympic final just a few hundredths of a second off of him. Just a few. Like the man who got the 4th place in that Olympic final. And that same man was running basically in top form for where we are at this earlier part of the season. Akani Simbini is that man, and he ran him down at the line. So unless you've got that type of energy, like world leading time type of energy, like I'm in top gear type of energy, you're probably not going to beat Kishane Thompson. So when the Racers Grand Prix goes off, what I'm checking for is to see if Kishane Thompson is exactly who we thought he was. Is he the man whom everybody's going to have to go through if they want to win a world championship? For that matter, is he really the favorite? Because going into the Olympics last year, there was a very legitimate argument for many people to make that he was actually the favorite, regardless of what Noah Lyles had to say about it. So now the stage has been set for Kishane Thompson to go out there and prove himself one more time. actually doing it on home soil. I fully expect him to go out and validate that he is exactly who we thought he was the entire time. But regardless of how this race ends, I'm pretty sure I won't be the only one paying attention. In the sport of track and field, race day is honestly the easy part, because all of the real work gets put in when nobody is watching. When you wear every day is training day gear, you can let the whole world know that your success in competition is not an accident. Order yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below, and it always comes with free shipping. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.